Show, iPi Live Talk Show. Today we have yet another interesting topic with us where we are talking about the careers which are related to math. Often we feel that such careers do not give us a lot of money, or maybe we feel that such careers are not meant to be followed. And hence we often go with the careers which we feel are much more respected and are more streamlined and mainstream. So today we have very interesting today members with us over here, Rekha and Jane, who are going to talk about the same as to what they feel how many careers are related to math. So, which often we might ignore it, or maybe we have some lack of research due to which we do not get to know about these careers that they are going to enlighten us about. So let's see what they have to say. But before they begin, they'll be giving a small introduction about themselves. So we begin with Jane.
Hello everyone, my name is Jane and I'm working as a HR associate at igebra. So based on what Charvi has mentioned about different professions and careers where students who are pursuing math can actually take up. So I was just trying and to find out what are the different areas students can actually go ahead with this career options. So I found these two careers and professions which were really interesting, though that students who actually love math can pursue. So the first thing is data analyst. So what does a data analyst do? So data is used everywhere in our daily life. And what is data? Data is filled with math and numbers. So if I have to just give you an example of the COVID time and the pandemic, how it struck everybody all over the world. So it was all data about how many different people were infected with COVID and what are the number of people who were actually vaccinated and how many people who actually recovered from COVID and how many people are being reinfected. It's all about data, and data is used in every sector and everywhere. So math is inherently present in this. And we also have a lot of statistics that are used when a data analyst uses this numbers and all the information that he has. So they have to use regression and classification of data when they have to group it and they have to segregate all of these things. So apart from that, I also found one more interesting profession that a student who loves math can actually take up. So that was the career of a market researcher. So what does a market researcher do? So he or she actually studies the trends of the consumer patterns and the behavior, and they actually try to understand how a buyer or consumer actually handles their buying and shopping trends. So for example, if we have to do a market research about igebra in various localities and communities and places, we have to take a lot of statistics and data from different parents. So that really helps us to understand what parents actually like, what students why students don't like math, and why do some students prefer math, and what are the reasons for them to choose math. So there can be several aspects that any person who loves math can take up in these two career options.
Okay, so according to Jane, we have two career opportunities with us, market researcher and data analyst. We often have maths honors in undergrad also, and some people do take up in postgrad, but they often leave it saying that there's no career in it. So let's see what Rekha thinks about it and what Rekha has to offer to us regarding the same. Rekha, do you feel math can be used in some other careers, or what do you think? Are there any careers which are related to math?
See, from childhood, we are, either which way we have to learn math, okay?
Right.
But the profession that gives me some kind of respect that I feel is teaching profession. Just
Okay.
imagine there weren't any maths teachers. How would we make a society of statisticians, actuaries, market researchers? The foundation is laid by a teacher.
Okay.
So the utmost respect goes to those teachers who day in and day out are, teaching the skill of mathematics. It is because it is their passion to do so.
Right.
So I think my first preference would be the profession of teaching. So they'll be teaching right from, I think, school level to whatever is the highest, okay? Either they can take it as a mainstream, like regular teachers, professors, or they might be working in some other sector, but in their free time, if they're passionate about the subject, they can always come back and still take classes, because math is a subject which is still undiscovered in many, many ways.
Right.
So it may be a percentage of mathematics is what all of us know. There is a lot of math which is unexplored. So I feel teaching is the one profession. And the other thing, I am from an economics background. I've done my Masters of Commerce. I've trained students in economics. So in economics, we are doing, most of it is mathematics. We are looking at graphs, we're looking at graphs, we are looking at statistics, we are looking at data. Again, economics is incorporating maths into it. And
Yes.
then when we look at a nation, when we are presenting budgets, anything which is very important, very massive, it cannot happen without the help of mathematics. So if you are being an economist, you have to be strong in your numbers, and in the way you're calculating risk. They're called actuaries. They calculate risk. So there's so many professions which are related to mathematics. They all stem out of mathematics, actually. Even if you look at a doctor or a medical person, if he's looking at the diagnosis and the pathology reports and all, you have numbers everywhere. So if you go to a doctor also, the first thing he's going to check is your BP or sugar. Everything is again numbers. So
Correct.
inevitably, all of us have to have a fair knowledge of mathematics. And of course, coming to career, it is up to us. There are so many streams. So you can utilize, you can put it in any stream.
All right. Okay, so Rekha had to say that teachers and economists is what she believes are the career-related opportunities that you can do after pursuing math at your undergrad as well as postgrad level. So Rekha was rightly mentioning about doctors, but usually what I feel is the perception is that if you can't take up math, you take up bio instead and become a doctor. But I think again, that goes for a 6, that goes wrong actually, because for the very reason that numbers are involved everywhere, and that's what we also strongly believe, because whether you take any test reports, whether you take any diagnosis, whether you take BP, it's all about numbers, and if you do not read it right, it's just all gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we've spoken about what exists in the environment as to different professions, different careers that kids can later pursue after their school years as well. Now, let's come to finding of the math and numbers in your own professions. Let's see how you guys can relate it to your very own professions. So, since Jane is an HR associate with us, what does Jane feel about the same? Are there numbers involved in your profession? Do you feel math is related or no?
Well, I think I deal with numbers every day, every single moment, because starting with when I talk about HR, so mostly I take care of the recruitment part. And whenever it comes to the recruitment, we have to make sure and understand how many profiles that we actually talk to, and what are the number of interviews that we are conducting with different number of candidates, and what are the different positions that are open in our company. So it's all about numbers. And if I have to give you other aspects of HR when it comes to payroll processing, so in terms of salary and deductions, so I have to make sure that everybody's salary and their gross salary, base salary, everything is in place. And I have to keep a record of the number of leaves any employee takes in our company. So that's all about math that I handle every day.
Okay, and you can't go wrong with the deductions. I'm sure everyone will pounce at you for that. So
Right.
that's one thing she needs to be really careful, because if she messes it up, it's just going for everyone. People go crazy with it. Okay, so let's see now how Rekha relates BDE and math. So Rekha, what do you have to say? Does your profession have math or no?
The word itself, business development executive. So business is all about numbers, profits, loss. Business means numbers. Okay, business cannot exist without numbers. So coming from a background of BDE, every day we get up with what are the numbers that we have got, number of leads that we have got, what is our conversion ratio, okay,
Yeah.
how we are going to assign those leads. Everything is basically data. Again, it boils down to numbers. And it is about the cost that we are incurring. Suppose we go conduct an event somewhere, a promotional event, what is the cost that we have incurred versus how much is it that we have gained out of that event? Everything is a mental calculation. What is the risk involved? How many people to take? How to engage those people? What is the number of hours that we are going to spend there? Everything has to be on dot and perfect, because every event that we do has a ripple effect.
Correct.
And the ripple effect finally leads to numbers. Your
Right.
profit or your loss is again your numbers. So business development means from morning to night, we are looking at the probabilities, the ratios, the conversion ratios, everything is numbers. So for us, it is integral. Math is integral for us.
Right. So as Rekha rightly mentioned, even in BDE, she has to keep a track of a lot of sales, conversions, leads, everything, because it's about profit and loss in the end. So she rightly mentioned about that, and so did Jane. So that was really enlightening, actually. It's not just that we're talking about how there are several careers that people can follow beyond studying mathematics in undergrad and postgrad, but it's also about finding the math that does exist in the already taken up professions. So my piece of advice to all the people out there would be, please follow your passion. Do not look at the outcomes as to what you see that you would not get money in such and such profession. Every profession does have their own perks and all of them have their own negatives, but do follow your passion so that you enjoy what you do. And please remember, math is everywhere. It's not like if you study math honors or if you stop studying math in school, so math is gone. No, it doesn't make sense because it will exist everywhere. So Rekha, so just a wrap up line or maybe something enlightening that you would like to tell our young minds.
See, first thing is, we are talking about careers and professions.
Right.
I want to, talk about the homemakers, the ladies who sit at home. They run an entire house. They are not ISO certified, but they are
Right.
doing such beautiful jobs, and their day begins and ends with numbers and mathematics. And
Correct.
they're so skilled at it. Nobody's teaching them, but they are doing such a beautiful job. Take it from a village or to the topmost society, everybody is doing math in their respective homes. So if a house is running very smooth with the economics and finances happening well and smooth, it is because the woman is a very sharp woman, sharp at mathematics.
Correct.
That's right.
I absolutely agree. Yeah. That's the most, I think, toughest job that exists, yet unpaid. But again, dealing with a lot of numbers every day from the morning to night till you sleep. And then it's again a cycle. You wake up and again you start calculating things, be it for your children, be it for your husband, be it for anyone in the family. So that's like very rightly mentioned, Rekha. So what about you, Jane? Any wrap up or anything enlightening for our young minds out there?
Yes, I would just like to tell everybody out there who's pursuing a career. I think if you can understand math and develop this interest in math, it can help us to explore endless possibilities in terms of your career and in terms of many life aspects. So that's all I would like to say.
Okay, so that's great. And even when you're calculating and when you calculate with your mind instead of using the calculator, it helps you actually use your brain cells. So do not make it dead, even though we are progressing a lot in the technology. So do enhance your creativity and logical reasoning every day, guys. It's very important. If you become dependent on something, it's very hazardous. That's what we see in our daily lives as well. So thank you so much, Rekha. Thank you so much, Jane, for being here today. So we'll catch you both in some other episode very soon. So thanks for being a part of iPi Live Talk Show.
Thank you, Charvi. Always a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.